Hi everyone, Vegas from Critic here, Jeffrey K. Howard, here to review the comedy Keanu from Key and Peele, the Comedy Central stars. You know, I'm going to get so many thumbs down, so much hate mail, so much criticism. I hated this movie. I'm just going to be right out there, right off the top. I hated this movie. Now, I've watched their Comedy Central show. I think when Key and Peele do characters, when they're doing sketch comedy, they shine. But in this movie, they have absolutely no chemistry. I mean, am I wrong? My audience didn't laugh. There was sparse laughters going on. Let me set up the movie. You have Key and Peele. I forget their character names. Does it really matter? Where one of them which one is it? I'm going blank. Okay, Peele, Jordan Peele, going through a bad breakup. Okay, so his buddy comes over to kind of cheer him up, and he's in this depression, and he just can't get out of it. Lo and behold, one day a kitten shows up on his doorstep, which changes his life. It gives him hope, gives him companionship, it gives him whatever it is to bring him out of this breakup funk. But there's a catch. The kitten is from a gang war that's going on, drug dealers. And of course, they're out looking for their kitten. It's such a ridiculous premise, which just sounds like a short sketch, not an hour-and-a-half movie. And I hate to be mean about this movie, but I really there's so much wrong with this movie. Let me get comfortable here. First of all, they have all these running gags that if you know comedy, if you watch everything from Lucy to Monty Python or whatever, it's like when you do a running gag, maybe 3 times, 3 times is the charm. But they keep beating a dead horse. For example, George Michael. They just keep beating George Michael gags over and over again. Gangsters sitting in a family wagon, a van sitting there singing George Michael songs, a tattoo on George Michael on one of the gangsters because he thinks he's a gangster rapper. Or I don't know what the hell he thinks. It just keeps going and going and going to where the ridiculousness of the fish out of water, these two guys, just very white, very patio, are now in this drug dealing world. And they're passing themselves off as some other, gangsters that are feared in the community. So they have to play the part. And one of the most things that's offensive, and I can understand bad language and I can understand racial humor in a context. But this entire movie, the context of it is these guys are not where they're supposed to be. So they're trying to bring up these stereotypes. And, the N-word constantly, over and over and over, every other word. It just drives me crazy. The nastiness of that word, it really drives me nuts. When it's done in context, for artistic expression, I guess you could say that. I got to walk a fine line here. And someone's saying, well, wait a minute, you love Blazing Saddles. I go, well, that's a different context. You have Richard Pryor writing the dialogue. You have, it points out the absurdity of the racism in Blazing Saddles. It's meant to ridicule it. It's meant to show how ugly it is. They always would set that up in Blazing Saddles. And then, you learn from that. You come away from that. This is just like, they're constantly saying it, and just being these characters that these they turn into, man, I hated this movie. The great Will Forte is also a low-level drug dealer, and they didn't give him enough screen time. I know he's probably busy with The Last Man on Earth, which I love, by the way. Probably just, I really thought Will Forte, if they gave him a little bit more. And Method Man playing Cheddar, a gangster, a drug dealer named Cheddar, which I thought was kind of funny. And everyone's going crazy about this kitten, Keanu. Things start to happen with the kitten that just get ridiculous, okay? They get so far over their head that the kitten is what's driving them constantly, nothing else. Not their safety, not what their families or friends are going to think of them, not getting in trouble with the law, not all these ridiculous things. It's all because, Jordan Peele wants Keanu back, okay? And Key wants to help his friend no matter what. Constantly, they're in a gunfight, they're in selling drugs, there are all these ridiculous things going on, and they're constantly, where's Keanu? We got to get Keanu. I don't care, it's not a spoiler. They each get shot in a gun battle that's going on. And in the middle of this gun battle, worthy of Scarface, they're like, where's Keanu? Keanu! And you think, well, maybe it's just so outrageous and ridiculous, that you're laughing that in a situation of a gunfight, they're worried about this little kitten. But by the time that, towards the end of the movie, you just don't care anymore. You're just sitting there going, wait a minute, you guys. You're going through all of this for a bloody cat? Well, you could go to pick up a cat, muscle it around the garbage can or go down to the, the SPCA or something like that. So this gag just went on and on and on and on, and it just wasn't funny. Were there funny parts? I think I laughed twice. When Key downed some some really bad stuff and had a trip, and that was funny, you know. And we have a little fantasy sequence with Keanu, which I won't want to spoil. You probably already know Keanu Reeves does the voice, you know, which, you know, that was funny. I think there was one more in there, you know, Anna Farris being a drug buyer or a drug lord or something. I don't know what the hell she was. That was kind of amusing. But you know what? I feel bad because you can see these guys pour their heart and soul into this. You know, this is their first big movie out from Comedy Central. You know, this is their big splash, and it just came with a whimper. You know, I really just, oh man, I couldn't stand this. And I know I'm not in the majority. Okay, look at Rotten Tomatoes, 80% or something like that. All the critics are going raving about it. I'm not. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not raving about it. And I think you're funny. I think you're talented, but this was not the movie to showcase those talents. Keanu, leave the cat alone. Let it run away. Ugh. That's how I feel. So, I'm sure you're going to leave me comments below. I'm sure you're going to give me thumbs down. You're going to call me every name in the book. Go right ahead. I can take it. Am I missing anything? The N-word. Yeah, I want to talk about that. Reoccurring gags. Everything. Oh, man. It was torture. All right, for more reviews and interviews, if you still want to stick around, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website, biggestfilmcritic.com, podcast on iTunes. Hey, if you agree with me, I'd love to know. Write some comments below. If you like what you see, please comment. Thumbs up. I doubt that very much. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard. Keanu! Just say that like 50 more times. That's the movie. All right, that's enough.